One of the best things that this farm in Portugal has given us, not just as a family but as individuals, is the opportunity to explore our own imaginations. John gets to build whatever he can dream up, letting his creativity flow every day. And I get to spend my time outside, learning new things and taking on new hobbies. It is truly a gift to wake with such a deep sense of freedom and purpose every single day. On this day, John is scheming of a solution to a sleeping problem, and I am taking my little buddy down to hang out with the bees. Good morning, folks. What a beautiful, beautiful morning it is. There's a kind of chill in the air when we're waking up at the moment, which is such a relief after that relentless heat of the summer. But the days are still getting lovely and warm and sunny, and it's just, I think this is a summer that's going to go down in our kind of memory books as one of the very best. The boys are at the sweetest age. We've made epic progress. We've just moved house. We're so settled. We're so happy. We've spent days swimming in rivers and weeks in the sunshine, and I feel so deeply grateful. Anyway, you're joining me this morning for my one little bit of time to myself, which is my morning workout. How could you not work out when this is the spot you do it? It really isn't any excuse. I've joined an amazing membership, which I'll share the details of in the description below. If anybody's looking for the kick up the butt that you need to get started with looking after yourself and exercising and investing in old lady you, then this is your sign. Check it out. It's called the She Collective, and I am a massive, massive convert. It's just fab. So anyway, I'm going to get on with that quickly, and then I've got some really fun jobs to do, which I thought I would take you guys along for. I've got to go and check on the bees and make sure that everything's going on down there and give them something to eat, which sounds a bit weird, but I'll explain more a little bit later. And I'll show you what's going on with the lawn. He mentioned in last episode that his lawn's not doing so well, but he wouldn't show you. So I'm going to show you. And maybe somebody out there can help us with what on earth is going on with it. John's back in the stone house, and I think he was planning to build the kitchen, but I might hijack his plans a bit because we had a bit of a rough night's sleep last night. But again, I'll fill you in a bit. First things first, let's move. There is nothing like a good kick of endorphins to start your day. I never thought I would put myself working out on YouTube, but there you go. This is for you, to inspire you to move your body. If you can, go for it. I promise you, you will feel so much better. Now, should we talk about this lawn? One of my unashamedly guilty pleasures is walking after a workout onto this lawn in my bare feet. I truly believe it's important that all of us walk a little bit bare feet on the earth every day. Look at this, folks. My poor husband. Oh no. Absolutely devastated. So we're not really sure what happened here, but it all just suddenly started dying. Like I think he said he was doing some experiments with watering, and the next thing we knew it all just went brown. But they were still getting a lot of water, so I don't think it was a lack of water. Anyway, what he's done now is pulled up all the dead bits, reseeded, and put a whole bunch of compost, organic compost, and horse manure on here, in the hopes that we can get it revived. It's getting lots of water as well. We are starting to run quite low on our water sources now. So hopefully the roots will take hold before the rains come and we can, fix what's gone on there. Shame, poor John. You know how much this lawn is his absolute pride and joy. I mean, it still is pretty magnificent. And there's plenty of space to run around on. And the same thing was happening at the top of the lawn as well, but somehow he managed to rescue that. And it didn't get too bad. But this bit it just ran away with us, and that was the end of that. Anyway, the next thing on my agenda is to go and look at the bees. So I've got to go up to the house and mix them up a sugar syrup. It's quite an interesting one actually, and I'll talk to you about it while I'm mixing it up. Because the ratios are really important depending on the time of year and what you want the bees to do after they've been exposed to what you're giving them. So I'm going to go and do that. It's the last one I'm going to do before Diogo comes back to help me check the hive. But we'll see if we can stick the camera up and see how the bees are doing in there anyway. Okay, so here's the plan. I've got 2 kilos of sugar and 1 litre of water. And what you do is you mix up a ratio of 2 to 1 sugar water for the bees. Anyway, what Diogo was explaining to me is that this time of year, because it's coming to the end of the summer, there's very little food source around for the bees. You've got to supplement them with a food source, but you don't want it to be too watery, because if it's too watery, the bees will think that it's a time of abundance, and you will set the queen off into a massive laying spree. And what you don't want is for her to be laying lots now and then have an overpopulation of bees when the food sources are very scarce. So you do a 2 to 1 ratio of sugar to water, which makes a really thick sugary syrup, and that kind of triggers the bees into storage mode. So they start making lots of honey, putting it into storage and getting themselves ready for the winter. Fascinating stuff. So the other thing he gave me was a bag, it's just in here, of wax. Hello, love.
Hello, darling.
A bag of wax from one of his hives, because the buckets in our hive have got little holes in the bottom of them. So the first thing I've got to do is plug the buckets with the wax and then pour the sugar syrup in and then leave them be until Diogo comes next week and checks on them. Before I go and get on with my day, I wanted to say a massive thank you to today's sponsor, Incogni, and remind you all what an incredible piece of software this is, especially for you guys in the States. If you guys don't know this already, there are companies out there who are working as data brokers. They're selling your information and your data for their own gains. Now, that could be anything. It could be your health records. It could be your social security number. It could be as bad as your banking details and your logins. Or it could just be your name, address, email address, and everything about you. Either way, I don't want people selling that information for reasons that I haven't agreed to or want to be involved in. But I'm sure that you are the same. Legally, if you make the request for your data to be removed, those websites have to remove your information. Now, it would take you hours, days, maybe even weeks, depending on how far your data's got, to find all of those websites and make the requests and then check whether or not they had done what they said they were going to do and taken your data off their records. This is where Incogni comes in, and I love it. Basically, Incogni goes out, scours the internet for anywhere that your data has appeared on a data broker's website. It makes the request for removal for you and tracks whether or not it's been removed. So take back control of your own personal data. Use the link in our description below and our code TheNewbys, and you will get 60% off an annual plan with Incogni. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try it out. There's no risk. I'm pretty sure you're going to find it super useful. Nothing like a coffee and a shower after a workout to make you feel $1 billion bucks. Anyway, I don't actually feel $1 billion bucks today because we haven't had an awful lot of sleep since we moved into this house. We are so happy to be in here, and I'm so glad that John kind of just was confident with his decision to do it, because just having this little living room space and being able to kind of, I don't know, have more space. You know, we've been in one room, one kitchen living room for 3 years. To sit in a living room is an absolute luxury, and I will never ever take that for granted ever again. So we have been delighted to be in here, but we are getting next to no sleep. We got the big bed into this bedroom, and this is how we're sleeping currently. John and I are there, and the boys on mattresses on the floor on either side of us. Now, we are huge advocates for co-sleeping. We have co-slept with our boys since they were born. They've both been in our beds ever since Crusoe got the Earthside. And I wouldn't change a thing. I think it is one of the most pivotal and most monumental decisions you can make for your parenting journey, especially of young babies. However,
it's time for them to get lost.
It's hard to get them out, is what I was going to say.
Today I'm going to build some very simple beds, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the big overall picture for this room will be. I've got a great idea in my head at the moment.
Van inspired.
Van inspired. We talked to the patrons about this, I think, a couple of days ago. And then in the next episode, we will be back downstairs building the kitchen, and the project for the bed is going to wait until after the kitchen is finished. We're just going to do today sort of start the project a little bit because there's an urgency there.
Yeah. So basically what's happening is the boys are on the floor. They don't like it. They want to be with us. So I'm getting personally woken up all night long, and John is getting kicked out of bed completely and is sleeping on the floor. No, you're not that sleep deprived. Rubbish.
Look at my eyes, man.
It's not nearly as bad for dads as it is for mums.
Look, there's black bits.
My cousin's husband gave us this advice once. He said, well, the best advice I can give you as new parents is don't argue about who's more tired and just never talk about sleep. Anyway, both the boys want to be next to me. It's a pain in the bum. They're climbing in the bed all night. They're waking up all night.
They don't want to be... All three of the boys.
Yeah, all three of you need a piece of me in the nighttime. It's very like full on.
Well, it'd be nice to have a cuddle without an octopus right in the middle.
Oh dear. Anyway, so the plan today is that John comes up with a temporary solution. That means that everybody's on the same level again. The boys have got more space. We've got enough room, but we're not all together. And then we will have bed solution phase 2.
I'm going to go downstairs and cut some wood up, make some very, very simple bed frames.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Good luck.
So this mattress is 2 meters long, 80 centimeters wide, and we've got those slats, you remember, from the old IKEA bed that we didn't throw away. We threw away most of that IKEA bed, but we kept those slats. So let's go and have a measure of those slats first. Okay, also 80 centimeters, which is good news. So all I've really got to do is build a box with some supports, a few legs, and then stick this inside it. Shouldn't be too difficult. Need to measure how high the other bed is so that they can be about the same level. 155. Mattress height, 15. 155 and 15. Got it. 155 and 15. I should write this all down. All right, team. So let's cut a few pieces of wood and see where we end up. Just to let everybody know, I have just been looking for my air defenders, but it looks like the boys have picked them up and gone for a walk with them. I can't see them anywhere. And it's kind of one of those things. Spend the next half an hour looking for them, or you just get on with it, you know. It's the same thickness as the mattress, and of course we want the mattress to pop out the top of it. So I think, do you know what, I think I'm going to go with that. Let's just take a couple of pieces of wood here as well. Okay, I've cut 4 legs there, 50 centimeters high each. That'll mean that off the top of the bed there'll be an extra 5 centimeters worth of mattress, just so that, you know, you're not hitting your arms or whatever on the wooden bit. It's a bit more comfortable. Okay, and we like to be comfortable for sure. So we've got 4 of those, 4 legs. Let's cut another sheet of 15. Make sure everything's square and you know, kind of how it needs to be. So this is going to do 2 things. It's going to act as a leg. It's also going to act as a way to attach the front and the back bits as well. So I'm just going to put it with some cleats to start off with, mainly because it's just going to help hold it in the right place while I put some nails. So I went into the hardware store yesterday evening to look for wood for this project. You look at it and you see these boards, This is 1/2 meter wide board, this one, priced at €20. I can cut 3.5 lengths basically out of that, make an entire bed out of one, well, almost make an entire bed out of one piece. So that's a €20 bed, well, give or take. Maybe if I had to buy all the wood for the entire bed, we'd be looking at something like €40 for all the wood, everything, all in. Which is quite reasonable, really. Okay, it's going to be a very simple bed, but that's all right. We don't mind about things like that. So we've got 2 sides there. Don't need to cut the lengths because they're 2 meters in length. Okay, and it's an 80 centimeter wide mattress. So this piece of wood here is 2 centimeters, well, it's 18 mil. So 84 centimeters would be kind of the right length for those pieces. 84. You know, I really enjoy quick and easy jobs like this. If you think about it as well, if I were going to go to an IKEA, it would probably take me longer to drive there and back than it would take me to drive to the local hardware store, pick up this sheet of wood. So far I've used, by the way, only 1 sheet of wood, which was €18.95. You know, you're talking half a day to go to IKEA and pick up a bed, and then you've got to put it together yourself when you get home anyway. Local hardware store, 1 board, €20, couple of battens like this. You know, you're onto a winner, really. That's what I reckon anyway. A real winner. Let's just chop that as the batten. Cups, so that bit will go in the middle like that, just to hold the pieces, everything together nice and tight. Right, moment of truth, everybody. This is that. This is the bottom bits left over from that IKEA bed that busted. Let's see if they fit. A very simple, straightforward bed, but that's a bed. So the reason why I haven't gone to town, particularly on the legs, is because with the big project that we've got coming up, I anticipate chopping the legs off. We're going to use the framework for the bed, for the mattress, but we're going to be doing something quite a lot different with it. Let's go and have a look at that now, and I'll talk you through what the plans are. So ideally what we're hoping for is that it's around about the same height and that the mattress fits. It's sorry if it doesn't. Alright. Yeah, that looks great, doesn't it? It's about the same height. There is a small gap. Between, if I'd have made it just a bit shorter, it would have slot in. It's around about, well, it's exactly the right length for the mattress, but this is what I'm talking about. If I'd have just made it a little bit shorter here, it would have slotted nicely into the other frame and saved probably 10 centimeters. I don't know what to do. Do I take it to pieces and do it again? I think I better just go and check with Tara and see what she says about that. She's just over here, so we'll go and ask the boss. Hello, my darling. Oh, that sounds dramatic. You doing the drama.
Darling. It's actually really interesting that you walked in. I'm just about to bring
No, horrible. Don't. Makes me sad.
I know. Mm-hmm. Do you need me?
Yes.
Okay.
So the bed's made.
Already?
Yeah, well not, yeah.
Speedy.
It's not a difficult project, that one. So, there it is.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love it.
Good. It is a bit, I mean,
Fall out.
so the question I've got is, I could make it slightly shorter here.
Yeah.
So that it slots inside and goes, well, what it would be, yeah, about 7-8 centimeters closer to the actual bed, so that there's no gap.
Not important.
No?
No, his cot had a gap. I just shoved blankets down the side.
Okay, good. So then that's fine.
Yeah.
So we're good?
We're good. Just push up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, okay. If you're looking, get yourself a husband. He can build you a bed before 9:47.
9:47 in the morning. So at the beginning of this project, I said I'd be able to build a bed quicker than it takes me to drive to IKEA.
There you go. By the way, we get lots of comments when John does things like this. Like, how did you learn? Are you self-taught? Did you, go to school about it? Blah, blah, blah. John is all self-taught, and we realise that we're kind of sitting on a bunch of kind of knowledge and resource. If there's something that you really would like us to provide in terms of a resource, like we're thinking of opportunities to be able to put together courses or PDF kind of how to build a bed type things. If anybody's interested in that kind of thing, or you've got something that you're desperate to know about, please pop it in the comments, but it would really help us with the project we're working on.
Yeah, quite right. Okay, I promised you that I was going to tell you a little bit more about the ideas that I've got for this room. So let me talk you through that now. While Tara's here, she can hold the camera. What have I been thinking? Well, the first thing I thought was we could make a bunk bed here, but we've got windows either side, no good. So then the second thing I was thinking was, why don't we make a double bunk bed? Bit hectic when you walk in the room. It's just going to be one big box of beds. It's going to look like one of those Japanese youth hostels. Hectic. So what I've been coming up, the idea that I came up with, which would maximize storage space as well, is what about if we put, and let me just take this bed here, this mattress here, to show you. What about if we take this, both beds, both boys' beds, and we put them like this, up against the wall like that, right? At about this height here. So the whole of the back of the bed, back of the wall here is beds. 2 beds, boys heads to heads or feet to feet, however they want it. Obviously it would be a bunk bed, so they're not going to fall out. Little step ladders up here, or however we do it, not quite sure yet. Underneath this side, we could have a little desk, a colouring desk with pencils and pens and a little chair. And underneath that side, we can have a wardrobe for the boys' clothes. So there's a little bit of extra usage of the space there. And inside both sides, we can put a little bit of a side table for Tara and myself, maybe some lighting. It's all there to be built, and I'm really excited about this project. But first, we should get on and do a kitchen. Let me know in the comments below what you think of that idea. If you've got additions to that idea, let me know what they are. We are all ears at the moment. We can build anything we can imagine.
Maybe you have to open your fingers and put them in the holes again. Right, so we've got our bag of beeswax to block the little holes. We've got our jars of sugar syrup. Crusoe's got the torch so we can try and show you what's going on inside the hive. And we're off to go and have a look. Stop that happening again. So let me show you what we're going to get up to. These are the buckets on the side here. Which we're going to put the syrup into. They're really excited. We love coming to see our bees, hey?
What?
It's the bees. So that's where I put the sugar syrup last time, but in the bottom here are 2 little holes. So I'm going to block those with the wax Diogo gave me. And then I'm going to pour the syrup just straight in there and put some bark in so that they don't drown.
What's up with those bees? Are they just like zen or
Yeah,
what?
they're really zen. They're like this every time I open it. Come on in. I'm very keen for Diogo to come and check the hive with us, and I think he's going to come next week because sometimes I come down here and it's very quiet, and I don't know, I think we need to just check on them, make sure they're doing okay. So that we block it out and the syrup doesn't fall out the bottom. Lots of bark so that nobody drowns, because that would be a real shame to open your hive and find that you've drowned a whole bunch of bees. And then we're just going to slide that back in there without spilling it everywhere. I can manage that. There we go. Right, let's open the other one and have a look inside. Can I get your torch, my boy? You got it.
What's your favourite part of beekeeping, Crusoe?
Torching on.
Doing the torch?
Yeah.
Having a look inside?
Yeah, have a look inside.
More?
I want to see, Mum.
Okay, let's have a look. What can we see?
Can you sign it up the top now? No. That's it. Bees good for another week?
Bees are good for another week. I think that might be the last time we feed them. We'll see what Diogo says when he comes.
Okay.
But they're so relaxed, it's amazing. They're just really zen. All right, buddy. Okay. So what we've done since we last filmed down here, just so everybody knows, is put that trap in. We did have a real problem with the Asiatic hornets, which can decimate hives. So, try to move away from the hive a bit, but they're so chilled, I don't actually feel too bad about taking this with them.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, come, let's go away from here. So yeah, we put these electric traps up. They run by the solar panel and they basically zap the hornets, but the bees just fly through them because they're so little. I've seen a hornet stuck to it, literally getting electrocuted. Felt mildly sorry for it, but they're not, because so it's not the hornet's fault that they're here, it's our fault. But they are causing a real problem to European bee populations. So that has made a huge difference. And when you come, you can actually see dead hornets on the ground. I think it's a hornet, it was a wasp. I don't actually. Some people call
Asiatic
it a hornet.
wasp, yeah.
Some people call it a wasp.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Asiatica. There's some dead ones on the ground there, and
There are
it's
none
made
lingering.
a huge difference. There's none lingering. They know now that they don't come here. Anyway, there you go, folks. Just a little bee update for you.
Nice.
I'll go get on with my day.
Yeah, busy.
Busy.